Hello, my name's Justin Porter, and today's date is the 22nd of November 2023. And my beautiful wife Nicole, Jehovah's Witness, has just been picked up by a Jehovah's Witness sister, and they're going to the doctors, and Nikki is going to get her blood document filled out. Now, this isn't in Australia. I don't know about the country that you're in, but in Australia, the Jehovah's Witnesses carry a little blood card, which I think most countries do. But in Australia, we have about 10 document, like a 10-page document with where the doctor has to sign a lot of the things and witness Nikki signing it. And so she's quite a few things, what fractions Nikki can have, and she can't have platelets, she can't have red cells or white cells or plasma. And so, and Nikki didn't want me to go. I said, I'll go. And she goes, no, I don't want you to go, because every time you go, you whinge and complain, and and I say to the doctor that fleas, ticks, leeches, and vampire bats and mosquitoes are allowed to have blood transfusions, but not Jehovah's Witness babies, and she gets cranky with me, and I try my best, and I'm on a carer's pension. I look after Nikki. I'm on a carer's pension looking after her. I always do window cleaning. I do window cleaning just to eat, because after they get the carer's pension, it all goes in rent and that. So I'm a window cleaner, and window cleaning money all goes on food. And so I'm on a carer. I'm Nikki's carer. She has a thing called Wilson's disease, where her body can't get rid of copper. Copper builds up your nerve endings and your brain cells. Most food has copper in it. Chocolate, mushrooms, brown bread, seafood. Most things do have copper in them, and the copper, your body uses copper to make nerve endings and brain cells. And the problem with Nikki, her health, Wilson's disease, her body can't get rid of the copper. Her body doesn't get rid of the copper. So what happens? The copper accumulates on the ends of her nerve endings and brain cells, and she used to get fits. She'd get fits and really bad fits, but she's on a medication called depenamine, and that takes her copper out of her body. But it kind of mucks up her liver. And Nikki has cirrhosis of the liver. She has a very bad liver, and she's not an alcoholic. She never has been an alcoholic. I don't drink. I haven't had any alcohol in the whole of 2023. So I'm on a carer's pension. I look after Nikki, but she's getting her blood documents. She's got signing them in front of the doctor, and the doctor has to sign. So I call it Nikki's death warrant, death warrant, death certificate, because if she ever needs a blood transfusion, there's not a thing I can do about it, because it's a legal document. It's a legal document, and the doctors at the hospital have told me. I said, if Nikki ever needs a blood transfusion, I'll give her, she can have my blood. And the doctor said, no, Nikki has a legal document signed by an attorney. She had a Jehovah's Witness act as her attorney, and and they said, we can't go against that, Mr. Porter, because if we were to give her blood, we would get in trouble. The doctors would get in trouble. So it's a terrible belief, and as I said, I left the religion 5 years ago, dissociated from the religion 5 years ago, and Jehovah's Witnesses have this blood doctrine where they're not allowed to have a blood transfusion, and that means platelets, white cells, red cells, plasma. Platelets are red cells. Yeah, platelets are the red cells. So it's a really silly belief, and the reason why I think they have it is that most cults, religious cults, they'll have one teaching that they say, we must be the right religion, because we're the only ones that won't have blood transfusions. We're the only people who won't have blood transfusions. And they misapply scriptures in the Bible, like in the Old Testament, the New Testament, and, you know, it's just a silly teaching. And I'm an atheist, and life is very precious to me, and I think this is the only life we get, and I think it's very sad. I think it's very sad that religious people all over the world are dying for silly causes like jihadis, Islamic jihadis, killing people, killing the Jewish people. It's basically over religion. People losing their lives over religion, not just Jehovah's Witnesses, not just Jehovah's Witnesses. You know, just religions all over the world are like, it's like saying, oh, don't worry about this life. Don't worry about this life. All that matters is the afterlife. All that really matters is the afterlife. They deny themselves pleasures of life, you know, enjoyment. You're not allowed to listen to that music. You're not allowed to watch that movie. You're not allowed to do this. You're not allowed to do that. It's not harming anyone, you know. And just enjoy life, be a good person. And just a short video today, and she's just getting her blood document signed, and she didn't want me to come, and I said, I'll come. But for me, it's so hard for me to sit down and watch her sign this thing that's, she ever needs a blood transfusion. You know, I've told her dad, I rang up her dad, who lives in Albury, which is about 1,600 kilometres away, down south, 1,600 kilometres down south. And I told him I'm no longer Jehovah's Witness. And I apologised to him for being so distant, you know, so distant, because he wasn't a Jehovah's Witness. He was bad association. And I apologised to him for that. But also rang up Nikki's dad. And Nikki's mum's dead, and Nikki's mum died in the year 2000, actually, at the age of 53 from liver failure. And Nikki's 51. You know, I can't show you a photograph of Nikki because if her face appears on my YouTube channel, if elders see her face, her photograph or something, she'll get me to take down the video, and she'll, you know, I have to tread lightly. She said she'll divorce me if I ever give her a blood transfusion. She'll divorce me. Sometimes I think I'd rather have a living divorced wife than a dead married Jehovah's Witness that wouldn't have a blood transfusion. So apparently if you do have a blood transfusion and you're not repentant about it, you can get disfellowship. They don't disfellowship you, they dissociate you. Oh, the blood saved my life, I'm so grateful. You know, you've got to be crying, oh, so sorry I had the blood transfusion. So sorry I had the blood transfusion. I didn't mean to break Jehovah's law. You won't get disfellowship, but not all the time. You know, if you think, oh, I lived, I survived. I'd be dead now if I didn't have the blood transfusion. They would disfellowship you, they don't disfellowship you because they got in trouble with the human rights. They would dissociate you. So it's just a silly teaching. I mean, leeches can have blood transfusions. Ticks can have blood transfusions. Mosquitoes can have blood transfusions. Vampire bats lap up blood. They'll bite a cow and they lap the blood up, you know. What type of God creates animals like that, you know, have syringes to suck up blood like a mosquito, but he doesn't allow a little child? Thank goodness we don't have children. You know, in Australia, the courts can take children off Jehovah's Witnesses because the court will take the child off the Jehovah's Witness because it threatens their life for refusing blood. And, you know, and there's blood in a steak. You know, Jehovah's Witnesses buy a big juicy steak, and there's blood in the big juicy steak. When you buy meat, sometimes you'll have an egg and it'll have a bit of blood in it. Sometimes you'll buy a chicken, you know, and there'll be a little bit, you know, there's still little bits of blood in it, you know, like I don't understand. It's just a cult thing, and they only do it. I think the Arismo Jehovah's Witnesses have the blood doctrine is to show that look how different we are. We're the only ones that obey God's command, but they twist the scriptures and bend the scriptures. It's not in the Bible, you know. It's just silly, and that's all I wanted to say. You know, life is precious to me. I'm an atheist, still an agnostic. I don't know. I don't believe in a God. I believe that Mother Nature's our designer and we get one life, but there could be afterlife. I don't know. I don't think there is, so live this life to the full, and blood transfusions that save your life, take the blood. And I'm seriously thinking of actually becoming a blood donor. Well, you know, I like blood donor. I'll have to check in about that. They have a blood you know, I'll have to check up in the hospital or something and donate some of my blood, because you're saving people's lives. Donating blood. Thankful all those people that do donate blood and do save people's lives, you know. So that's all I wanted to say. Thanks for listening to the video, and I hope one day Nicole wakes up, but she may never wake up, you know. She does wake up and becomes outspoken like I have, she'll lose all her family and friends. But her dad and her brother and sister, they're not Jehovah's Witnesses. But she says, oh, sister, like I said to her, she said to me yesterday, oh, sister's coming around tomorrow, she'll take me to the doctor. Oh, no, I'll take you. Oh, no, you're going to have a go at me. You say, and she's true. What she says is true. Oh, but you, and the only time I ever bring up the Jehovah's Witness religion is when it comes to blood. She goes, no, her sister's coming to pick me up. And it's not her sister. She has a sister in Penrith in Sydney who she doesn't talk to. She hasn't talked to for a couple of years, for a few years, you know, because Nikki's sisters and dad and brother, they're kind of anti-witness, you know, because it drifts people away from their families. It really does. And it makes you, it does kind of break up families, because you're real flesh and blood family. Oh, I don't want to have Christmas with you, don't want to have birthdays with you, we don't do that, we don't, you know. And that you know, it's sad. All I want to say is like, subscribe, comment. That's all I've got to say today. And thanks again. And on Monday, 27th of November, going to go to the hospital. And they'll tell us what's up with Nikki and why her platelets are so low. And because her platelet count is very, very low. A very normal person's platelet count should be about 200, but hers was about 19. A couple of years ago, they gave her Romiplastin that built her platelets up to about 56, which is better than 19. But the other day, I think it was 14, and she's really, like when she walks, like she's real pooped, like pooped out, like she's run a marathon kind of thing. So, you know, hopefully we'll find out on Monday what's eating up Nikki's platelets. And thanks for watching. And, yeah, so you know, I used to be a Jehovah's Witness, and I used to believe in no blood, and I was a brainwashed Jehovah's Witness too, so I know what Nikki's going through. And I said to her the other day, it must be a shock for you, for me to be so outspoken against the religion, but I do have my reasons, Nikki, and you know, life is precious. This could be the only one we get, and why throw it away over a stupid blood doctrine, you know? Just silly. All about the afterlife, isn't it, a religion? And they choose to ignore this one real life that we have, you know. But thanks again. Bye then.